Hey guys, before I go into the settings, just want to talk a bit about the racing and how it's actually helped me improve. As you've seen probably from the last video that I've done, I've managed to pull some great laps together. I was ranking constantly in the B finals, which was very good for someone that's so new to this racing. And on the other hand, I was being consistent. And that was only thanks to the latest settings changes that I've incorporated to my Sandvar remote that have helped me achieve that. Of course, there's something to do with the car, but the remote and the sensitivity of it and how you accustom it to yourself plays a big role in that. So you'll see some racing. I'll put some racing in the background while I talk about this a little bit, but I've happened to omit two major things that we've had within Sandvar itself. One was the racing mode that I haven't considered previously, and the other one was adjusting the exponential even further to give me the greatest advantage. So without dwelling any further into that, let's have a look at the settings and I'll explain step by step what these settings do and how they're going to help you improve your racing. Actually, before we go into that, I did buy one of these on eBay to put the strap. I know it's pink, but the seller had 30% off on the pink. I don't know for what reason. So I'll put that quickly onto my remote, onto my transmitter, and we can get started. Okay, as I was saying before, it's very important to have your remote there and ready. But another very important thing is the manual itself. So what we want to do now is have a look a little bit at the manual, and I'll show you a couple of things that we really want to do here. As soon as I figure out how to zoom. Okay, lovely. So we have a zoom here. So what you want to do is make sure you adjust this steering tension. Let me just zoom out a little bit. That's it. So adjusting the trigger tension and also the steering tension in control. You want this to be quite firm, you know, you want this to be quite firm. You don't want it to be soft at all. So if you use your trigger here, as you can see, now, you want it to have a little bit of a feeling to it. You don't want it to be quite so manual or quite so light. The other thing is adjusting the wheel here. So there's two Allen keys. One is located here, and that's the one that you will use for the trigger position. And the other one is located also under here, which is this one, to set up the steering wheel. Of course, once you do that, you'll have to make sure that you go back into the calibration mode, which you access by going here. So let's just have this, pick this up, and you'll head over to the system, and then to the calibration, steering, go down, press accept. So turn to the left just gently, and then to the right. That's it. We press yes. That's been executed, and now we'll head over to the throttle. You don't want to press it too hard, you don't want to bully it or anything, just press it as if you were racing. So just go there. We have that set up. And brake as well. Brake is done, and we'll just press yes. So these will be the unique settings for each one of the controllers, and you don't have to worry about them too much. Next thing, as we can see from the manual, is adjusting the trigger size itself. So some people have smaller trigger fingers, some people have bigger. You want to find the trigger and fix the one that actually works for you. You can see that in the manual. You get 3 of these with your remote in the box, so just apply one that works for you. I'm using a large one here because I found I then have limited play and I can access the brake rather well. So if you're like me and you have multiple cars and multiple receivers, one way to access your preferred car or the one you want to use is to hold the back button and then switch the remote on. Once that's switched on, you'll be able to select your car that you're racing. I have the MI8, so I'm going to select that model so we can have a look at those settings. First things first, before you do anything, you want to go to the system, you want to go down to the R mode, and you'll have to make sure that this is activated. When it's off, it will look like this, off. And then when you set it, I just set it, number 2 is the default, so you want to set it like that. You don't have to worry about any other settings, but having the race mode on will make sure that all of these functions are activated on your remote. Now we'll head back and we'll have a look at the actual settings that we have. We don't have to go into the custom rate because that's different, but I'll go here. We have dual rate first. I was running 81% for the track that I was racing. This will largely depend on the angles of your car. So for example, my car has 27% steering lock, and I'm working to reduce that by using the settings down to around 22. It really depends on the track and how you're feeling on that particular day, but you want to set this up based on the setup of your car. It basically slows down the steering and allows you to have I guess slower response as well. When we go on to the speed, I don't touch that. This will impact the speed of the steering as well as the speed of the actual throttle, so this is all left at 0. Going down onto the curve, I've changed this from the last settings, so I'm running the exponential on 23. I've actually started on 15 here. It's felt still a little bit too fast for me based on the new Sanwa servo that I have, so I've adjusted this down, to 23, and since then it's felt very good. And again, this is something you can adjust based on your personal feeling and also the level of experience you have. We don't touch this. These settings, there's nothing too particular that you want to set up here when it comes to FS settings. FX are, I just wanted to find them in the manual so I can tell you. They're the fail-safe operation features that keeps the service in a predetermined position for each channel, and in the event that the receiver fails for whatever reason, it will hold it. But I don't have to set this up because I'm not expecting to have any issues with that. And we were on curve, we've done that, we've done this one. The next one here is quite important, is the bass, but I generally skip this one and I go over to trim because again my car is set up fully on the workstation, so I don't have to play around with these settings too much. Or when I do, it's probably, I'm running this one, the right I'm running on around 94%, and the left one, it will depend on 97%. On around 97% to get the right angles on both sides. So when I turn left, it's 22 degrees, and when I turn right, again it's 22 degrees with the particular dual rate that I have set up. But again, this is so unique to your car, so you'll have to adjust the endpoints based on your car's configuration. Trim, I have this set up slightly. Basically I just use this one here to make sure that I set it up, which is trim number 1. This is again going to depend on your car and how you set it up. So when you go here, you can just enter it. There's nothing to enter because I don't have any trim. And that's basically it. If you check across all of the settings that I have, this has really helped me improve, nail down my lap times, and get really consistent with my driving. I've put videos on my YouTube channel before, and I've had number of improvements in the last couple of weeks. These settings and the R mode being active are absolute must if you're using Sanwa. So don't worry too much about changing from the R mode 1. Just make sure you have this active and it's set up for your car. Apart from that, it's that's all I'm running now. So just trying to keep it really simple, straightforward, and that's something that you can see in the races. Most of these settings you can play with, but the key part, as I've done in my last video, is to make sure that your car is set up 100%. So once you put the setup table down, the jigs and all of that, make sure that your car is running smoothly. Of course, a lot of these settings you can change through the remote, but the better you set up the car initially, the less you will have to do on the remote. So I hope this has helped. If you have any questions, please let me know. And I'll see you soon. Thanks all for watching.